Yeah.
Great. So I know you have something coming up for married women. My concern
Yeah.
is why married women though. But yeah,
Okay.
tell us a little
Okay.
bit about it and then
Okay. I've been hosting this masterclass for the past 7 years. I've done for singles as well. I've done for men as well. Self care actually looks different for everybody. The way a self care practices will go for a married woman is different for a single woman. And so I create it in that space so that we will get the conversation centered on their needs because their needs are different. And that's why this is for married women. And every year, March or April, I do it for married women as one of the celebrations for International Women's Day, as you said. So that is why this is for married women because they need to have that proactive lifestyle. As they say in the plane, in case of an emergency, put on your oxygen mask first before assisting even your child. Because if you are not serving yourself, if you are not saving yourself, you can't save anybody else. So a lot of times we resent people, we are angry, and it's because we are serving from a negative space. So self-care helps you to actually get in touch with yourself, where you meet yourself with power, where you meet yourself with love, where you are reinventing yourself all the time so that you can meet the things that are coming for you. And for me, that is what makes a big difference in my life.
this is actually for married. It will benefit the men more than the women.
Exactly,
Where I
exactly.
ask him.
Because when the woman is fine, the home is fine.
Yeah,
The
true.
men enjoy you better. That is true.
Great, thank you so much, Ariel. But contact, so just contact if anybody wants to sign up for it. They can,
Okay,
hit you up.
okay. They can reach out to me on 0243 600 899 0243 600 899.
Ariel, the wellness coach. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Daniela
Edem.
is not
Enjoy the
married, but
show.
she will sign up.
She has to. She has to. It's
She
good
has
for
to learn
everybody
it
at every
ahead
stage.
of
You can
getting married.
inspire.
Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Bye. Great. So that was Ariel, our wellness coach, telling us how important it is. I just wanted us to set the tone right for this conversation. And once again, let me say a very big thank you to Amasha Partners Limited and iCare. Yum Vita, a delicious way to grow. Dano Milk. Choose tasty milk. Choose nourishment. Choose Dano Milk. Dano Milk. Go for it. And we are beginning our journey to wellness and greatness and health and everything, but focus is on women's health. Dr. Ayertey, good morning again. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Great. So we have questions coming through already, and just hold on a little bit. After about 15 minutes, we'll activate the phone lines. Let's try to deal with these ones already. Good morning, Edem and Doc. Okay. There's something happening with the console. But Doc, one of the big reasons we were having this conversation, well, everything inclusive, but last week I was having a conversation with a young friend of mine. She's 32.
Okay.
And she's very, 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 very sad. Like, I said young because, yeah, you know that. She's sad, actually, and so we have had to get her a psychologist to help her, deal with it, because she has had to go through a TAH, a total abdominal hysterectomy. That's how they call it, right?
Yes.
Because she was having a lot of issues, women's issues, fibroids and all that, and too much bleeding. I hear like it was beginning to cause a lot of problems for her, and that was the last resort, so that she will be okay. But the challenge with, the reason she's sad and unable to really heal from that is the fact that she doesn't have a child, and yeah, she had to go through this, and it's really telling on her. And so I thought that I would bring it up for us to talk about it and find out what is this whole thing about, first off? Should it really be, if it is not something that you have chosen to do as an individual, like a woman decides that, okay, by way of, I don't want to have children again and all that, so let's go through this. Or why, the whole thing around, the TH, how does it affect your quality of life? And for young people who, like her, who have to go through it, how should you even be prepared for it?
For a young person, it's kind of difficult to
so you can understand her, right?
I understand her. It's kind of difficult to be really prepared for the finality of the fact that uterus is gone.
So that means what? So okay. You have to explain to us, because I'm sure there are people wondering, okay, what is it?
Essentially, it's a hysterectomy is a surgery where you remove the uterus.
Okay.
And actually, there are, let's say, two types.
The uterus in our parlance would be the womb, right?
The womb, or I would as how people like to call it. So now, when you remove the uterus, there are two types. There's the total hysterectomy, and there's a subtotal hysterectomy. With the subtotal, you leave the bottom part, which is the cervix.
Okay.
And then you take off the top part, the part causing the problem. The subtotal is less invasive, less troublesome, fewer challenges.
Okay.
Because it's an easier surgery, a quicker surgery. The only challenge is that because the cervix is there, we have to keep monitoring the cervix like somebody who has a uterus. But as long as you do your pap smears and things of that sort, any cervical cancer things that are coming up there, we can track it and pick it early and prevent it from becoming a beast.
So the sub one means that it's just the uterus that's gone.
Yeah, it's the upper half, upper 2/3 of the uterus that is gone, and essentially we are leaving the cervix.
Cervix there.
So from the vagina, everything is normal. If you look inside, everything is no difference. And if you're only taking off the part of the uterus that was causing the problem, where the heavy bleeding is coming from, where the mass is coming from, where the challenges are, is where you have removed.
Okay.
Now, when we're in school, it was basically remove the whole uterus because she may get cervical cancer in future, and it will be a problem. I don't know the figures now, but essentially we're removing parts of the uterus that were not causing problems, because we are saying maybe in future you have a problem. But what if you don't have a problem? We've removed the cervix, and whatever function the cervix was doing has gone along with it.
Wow.
Now, because cervical cancer screening has gotten better, and you can actually catch very early stages of cervical cancer, more people are doing what we call a subtotal hysterectomy. In other words, remove only the part causing the problem and leave the functional parts alone. You understand? Before, in the olden days, when you enter the tummy, they say, remove the appendix whilst you are there. You're like, no. Now it's focus on the problem and leave the thing that is not causing any trouble alone.
Because they have their function.
Because they have their function, precisely. But with a total hysterectomy means they removed the uterus and the cervix. Usually, that statement means they didn't touch the ovaries and the tubes. So that means she still has the ovaries. She'll still produce eggs. She'll still go through the normal hormonal cycles like every other woman does, just that she will not have a menstruation because the organ that generates the blood has been removed.
It's no longer there.
It also means that she cannot carry a pregnancy herself. However, there are women walking around with the uterus who can't also carry a pregnancy themselves. There are women walking about with uterus and poor ovaries. Women walking about with ovaries and poor uterus that cannot even carry a pregnancy, but the uterus is still there. Women are walking about with uteruses that have been damaged by, all kinds of things, and the walls are stuck together, and they're not having their menses at all.
Wow.
So the woman who has a uterus that is unable to carry a pregnancy, who is, for example, not having her menses, in this example, and but is having problems with the uterus because of the challenges that she has.
Exactly.
And you that don't have a uterus and no such problems, you're not exactly worse off. But the one who has that uterus is suffering so much that she would say, I wish it was out.
Yeah.
I have a client who came and said, Doctor, 30-something, I can't take this pain anymore. Take the uterus out. I know a family of ladies who by the age of 32, every one of them, their uterus is out because the pain is unbearable.
Pain from what?
Endometriosis, adenomyosis,
those things.
and in that particular case, it's actually in the family, because we got to know one, then we got to know a second one, then we got to know a third one, and all of them at some age in their 30s, they get up and say, I can't take this anymore. Take the uterus out.
Doc, are there preventive measures?
In this woman's case, I kind of think that
maybe she presented too late.
Earlier intervention would have made a big difference. Now, if she's bleeding excessively, let's assume, because there's a commonest cause, that her problem are due to uterine fibroids. If you are bleeding heavily from uterine fibroids, it generally means that the fibroid is affecting the surface of the endometrium. The endometrium is the inner lining where the baby sits. So if the fibroid is affecting the surface of the endometrium, the lining does not work the way it should at the end of every menses, where it will heal, bleeding will stop, and then next month you to shed again, and then it will shed completely and bleed will stop. This time, there's a fibroid sticking out into that space. And that fibroid sticking out in that space does not go through the normal cycles that everybody does. So after your menses, that place doesn't heal, let's put it that way, and so continues to bleed or continues to provide a discharge that gives you a very uncomfortable feeling throughout the entire cycle. For a lot of those people, if you see them at the beginning of their symptoms, you may discover that their problem is mainly centered in the endometrium. And with those people, you can go in with a telescope, the size of a pen, with a small instrument at the end, through the vagina, through the cervix, into the womb, and remove that entire fibroid.
I see.
Or the polyp, and get out. And when they finish, tell them to go home. You will not cut their body anywhere.
I see.
And it happens a lot in this. I mean, there are doctors who do it. I do it. I do it every week. So you remove the lesion. There's a large polyp or a large fibroid there. You remove it.
Doesn't matter the size? From
inside the cavity, yes and no. You can remove it if it's in the cavity, but sometimes you have to do it in more than one stage. So if it's a big fibroid, you might have to do it in more than one stage. If it's a huge fibroid, then you have to balance the technical difficulty of how many stages will I use to do this compared to opening her tummy and taking it out. But sometimes the woman has so many fibroids, big, small, in and out, that her HB is so low, you can't even open the tummy to deal with the big ones. So for some of those ones, you go from below and remove the bleeding one so that you can build the HB high enough to go from on top and deal with the remaining things. But if you have plenty of fibroids outside and inside, then we now have to take a decision that if you remove only the inside one, you still have the outside ones to deal with. And if they are big, uncomfortable, your tummy is big, then you might as well just open the tummy and do it. But if you come early, you understand? If you come early, the moment the symptoms are discovered, or you start complaining, your tummy is getting big, you're bleeding abnormally, or there's a funny kind of discharge, and your doctor does a scan or a saline hysterosonogram and discovers the fact that no, there's a mass inside the cavity that is causing those problems, or your tummy, there's a large fibroid. The interventions that you have, the options are a lot more. You understand? When it's smaller, we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When it gets bigger, we can do 1, 2, 3. When it gets huge, we can do 2. When it gets huge, maybe you can just do 1. Wow. And so too many people, unfortunately, will say, I'm afraid of the knife. I'm afraid of the knife. If I go, they say they'll remove my womb, so I won't go. I've heard. By the time you get there, the only option left is to remove the womb. Your womb. And it is remove the womb or she will bleed to death.
Oh dear.
So what do?
You decide.
You don't have too much of a choice.
Wow.
And it's a surgery that, as a surgeon, is very painful.
For you, the surgeon. Us, yes, because especially when the person is young.
5 years ago, I could have done it so easily for you. So why? You say, I was afraid. What have you gained?
Being afraid.
If you go early, we can give you a bikini cut. Small cut at the bottom. Take the fibroid out and remove it. You go, everybody. We can even bury the incision such that it's very difficult for you to see the scar. We'll glue the wound. Do all kinds of catcher things. If you wait, and by the time you are 7 months pregnant with fibroid, the only option is that we'll open your tummy like cocoa sack. Because that's the only option you've given us. And I hate that incision.
Could it be that there's not enough education?
Well, one, there's not enough education. Because unfortunately, those of us who know don't talk. It's one of the problems that we have in our profession, that we don't educate people enough. Too many patients to see, not enough avenues and opportunities to be able to communicate to let people know that these options are available. Two, there's a lot of misinformation. I've heard. And when you ask the person, I've heard that, have you met the person you heard about? Then they'll say, no, my friend told me. Ask your friend if he's met that person. Then they'll call back and say, no, that one too.
They heard it from somewhere.
They've all heard something, but no. And then finally, you are personally responsible for your own health, not have heard. So if you have a problem, get it fixed yourself.
Great.
You are your own best advocate and best researcher.
Very, very, very interesting. Yeah, so I asked my friend to listen. She's listening. And
But she can have a child.
Surrogacy.
If she's got eggs, she can do an IVF, take out those eggs, combine them with the husband's sperm, and put them in somebody else's tummy. The person will carry it for 9 months and deliver and give you your child. If you do
It is still your child.
If you do a DNA test, it's a 99.9% you. So if you don't know book, that child too won't know book. Know that it is.
Oh, dog.
Don't blame the surrogate.
I didn't expect that one.
It is your genes.
It is your genes. So how much of the surrogate's genes will the child have?
With genes, no.
Nothing.
They don't have any genes from a surrogate.
So it's all you.
It's all you.
But it's expensive, isn't it?
Yes.
It is.
I mean, Edem, how much will I pay you to
Carry a baby.
Yeah. And take time off work? You know,
take care of yourself.
And take care of yourself.
Like you are the person's responsibility through and through.
Yes, you are. It's not an easy thing to do. Honestly speaking, it's not an easy thing to do. It's a serious commitment to be able to do it. But people do it. With their mothers who have been surrogates for their daughters, their relatives who have been surrogates for.
Sure.
The challenge with relatives in our market is that if they do it for you today, tomorrow
they will go and talk.
What they will say about you tomorrow.
Oh.
Our people. Discreetness is not part of our. It's okay. So that is the problem with using a known surrogate. But it's something that it happens, and it's for some people that's the only way they will have a child, and when they do have that child, they are so happy.
I know
with the child that they have gotten, because they've managed to achieve this thing that they thought was impossible.
Women's issues, yeah. Good morning, Edem and Doug. Great show always. Please, I would like to know if one stops bleeding, that is having her menses entirely, when on family planning precisely the implants, and how long will it take for the person to start bleeding again after the implant has been taken out?
So let me use this opportunity to try and inform everybody that if you are using the implants, or you are using the depot injection, or you are using the Mirena, which is an IUD that contains progesterone, all these things contain progesterone, your menses will become scanty, and in addition may stop. If it stops, it is because the medication is telling your body that baby will not come, don't lay the bed. And if you don't lay the bed, there's no need to take off the bed sheets, which is your menses, and lay a new bed. Because your body knows baby will not come. I can't emphasize this enough. And I don't understand why when people go for family planning treatment, they are not informed that this will happen.
Okay.
Your menses may stop. It is normal. Don't worry.
And it's because
there's no dirty blood anywhere. The blood is not even accumulating for it to come out. It is because your body knows that they have put a block on a pregnancy. Don't prepare for a pregnancy.
That's all.
Menstruation is essentially you've prepared for pregnancy. Pregnancy didn't come. We are cleaning the room to prepare for the next pregnancy. So if you know there will not be a tenant, we'll be cleaning the room every day. You wait until a tenant is coming before you clean the room. Or periodic cleaning.
Yeah.
But it's not every day go and sweep. You don't do that in your house. So why are you expecting your body to do that when you know Vesta will not come?
Even the rooms you sleep in, you don't sleep
So
okay, that's a very simple explanation.
Yes, it is. Now, with some of the methods, your menses may reduce to the extent that you start spotting. So instead of you bleeding for 5 days, now you spot for 2 weeks. That one too is normal.
But
it can happen.
That one I don't understand.
We can fix it. So all we need to do is to, when you tell you that when you have that problem, please see us. and we'll fix it for you. We'll fix it for you this month. It will go away. It will come back again in 6 months. I'm telling you now. When it comes again in 6 months, we'll fix
Have
it.
it fixed.
Then it will stop.
I see.
It's normal.
Because I have heard a lot of, young men complain about that, okay, because you don't want to get pregnant and you want to, have access to your wife when you need them, they do family planning. But then consistently too, the place is not, conducive.
It's a very simple.
For
if you
action.
come today, we give you something. We'll give you today. In 3 days, by 3 days, it has stopped. Then we know it won't come back for about approximately 6 months. It will come back again one. So just inform the client that this will happen. When it happens, don't be surprised. It means come and visit me.
Okay.
It's time for you to come and see me.
But you can't do anything about it until it starts showing.
Not everybody has that problem.
Not everybody has it. Good.
But if the menses stops, it's okay. And finally, if you're on the implant and you take it out this month, that's it. From next month, your system is back to normal.
Okay.
If you're on the injection and you take it and you stop taking, and today is your last injection, the injection will last for 3 months if you're using the 3 months type. The effects may last for another 3 to 9 months. The injection is different.
What does that mean?
No, it means the injection's effect, because it's a depot, it tells your body that it releases the chemical at a certain rate that allows the effect to last for a longer period.
Okay.
And that's why you can take one injection and it lasts for a whole 3 months. Now, after 3 months, your body takes time to come back to its normal cycle.
Okay.
So for people on that method, we say, in case you want to get pregnant, you stop the injection 6 months before you want to get pregnant.
I see.
Don't stop it like, oh, I've taken it today, I want to get pregnant
tomorrow
or next month or next. No.
Doesn't
Even in 3
work
months,
that
it's not a
way.
good idea.
Okay.
If you want to start trying in June, take your last injection in January. The effect will leave by March, officially.
And then
Your body will recover within another 3 to 9 months.
Okay.
Depending on the person.
Yeah.
So we say at least let's give you 3 months, so that 6 months from your last injection, hopefully your system will come back to normal. If it doesn't come back to normal 6 months from the last injection, it's okay. It will come back in another 3 months.
It will definitely come back.
But you just need to plan with that in mind. Because too many people take the injection today, decide, okay, decide in 2 months that I want to get pregnant now. Then the pregnancy doesn't come for another 2 months and it becomes panic stations.
Else. Okay.
No, that's how the drug is like.
Great. Rookie, so I hope your question has been answered. Doc, what I'm deducing from the conversation we're having is that then most of the, should I use the word most? Looks like healthcare officials or people who help their clients to go through this are not giving them enough information.
Yes, I agree. But part of the problem, which is not an excuse but a reason, is that if you're going to spend 30 minutes on every patient, you will not see the crowd sitting outside your door. And that's the challenge. Maybe we need to print out more handouts in various languages so that people can, well, I might not have to explain all this to you, but please read all these things and at your next visit you can discuss them. There are ways you can go around it. But I'm just describing what the problem is.
Okay.
It is time, and sometimes the lack of willingness of the individual to do it, to speak the truth. I must be honest here, that sometimes the person just doesn't do it, even though they can do it. Because in 10 minutes, you can communicate a lot. Look at the things we've talked about in the last few minutes.
Exactly.
You can communicate a lot in 10 minutes. So it's not always an excuse.
It's not. Because there are times that people do not know, so you don't even know what questions to ask.
I do agree.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, I'm just realizing that we cannot have these conversations enough because there's so much to learn. Good. So this one says, I recently followed a conversation online where women shared experiences of how they had lost certain parts of them during pregnancy, certain adverse effects of pregnancy, like losing your teeth, reduction in cognitive abilities and all that. I barely hear such stories, so I am not sure if this is common or not. What causes such adverse effects in some women during pregnancy?
Pregnancy is a state where your normal hormonal milieu is thrown totally out of whack. One of the things that we've realized recently is that pregnancy, in the pregnant state, you are essentially a diabetic woman. Even the normal pregnant woman. If you run certain tests, your levels will not accept in a normal woman who is not pregnant. If I use the old scale, for instance, the old scale would say your level should be 25, a pregnant woman is doing 80, easy.
And it's just because she's pregnant.
It's just because she's pregnant. Now, the effect of those things affect every part of your body.
Oh dear.
And everybody responds in a different manner.
Differently.
Some bodies will end up being hypertensive. Somebody will end up being frankly diabetic. Somebody else will suffer different kinds of challenges, including the teeth issues and suffering what they describe as mummy brain, which is you just forget stuff. But it's all because of changes that have occurred in your body. They do occur in our part of the world. Just that we have a significantly better support system, let's put it that way. And that has ensured that we don't suffer some of these problems as obviously as you would have in other cultures where it is you and your spouse and both of you have to work, day and night. So we have a bit more help in our part of the world, and so you don't always
see some
of these things. And also, you know that you are responsible for what you are responsible for. So no matter your challenges, we tend to soldier on and go through it, knowing that as our people say, that is how it is like when you deliver, it will go. And
it goes sometimes. Sometimes
it goes. For most people, it goes. Their cognitive ability comes back. They're able to function. They're able to, So that is why, as an organization, if a woman is pregnant, you really shouldn't hold some aspects of their outputs, against them, because you know that there are hormonal issues that may account for their outputs. If she comes back to work after delivering and she's still having those problems, then you know that it maybe is an issue. But if she's pregnant, it's okay. It will pass.
Okay. And so it's not, how some people will tell pregnant women, you're weird, and things okay. like that.
But it's not her fault.
It's not a good thing to be saying to.
She has been possessed by an alien.
Can you imagine?
And that alien comes with its own environment, with its own soldiers, with its own everything. She's not herself.
You have to deal with that and deal with yourself and deal with every other thing around
so
you.
Just understand, it will pass. Just that she remembers every bad thing you say to her.
It's the hormones.
She will not remember what she did
before
you did that thing, but she remember every bad thing that you say to her.
And you are very easily irritated. It's not easy.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
Thank you very much for staying with us. This is Home Affairs on Joy 99.7 FM. This one says, good morning. Hey, I like this. Host Knight-Tay. And doctor, my daughter goes through severe abdominal pains before and during her menstrual cycle that renders her bedridden during this time. She's 14. What do you recommend I do to help her? Doctor, I can't stand this. Yeah, what do you recommend?
She should go and see her doctor.
Oh.
And in addition, most likely, they'll have to find out if there are other reasons why she's having so much pain. But at that age, you just stop the menses, that's all.
You stop the menses?
You can stop the menses.
Hey.
I can do anything.
But why? Won't it affect the child in future?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Hey, this one shocking you.
It's possible. You just look at life, where she is, exams, that kind of stuff. And you can regulate her menses so that it comes when you want. You can stop the menses for a period of time so that she doesn't have a menses at all whilst, you understand. Then you manage the circumstances. Okay, we'll allow you to have a menses at this time when we are in a position to manage
the pain
and the conditions that come with it. So if you really need to do that, you can do that.
Hey,
for some other people, it's just manage the pain. For some other people, manage the cause. If you can locate the cause of the pain, you manage the cause of the pain. So there are a variety of things that you can do for the client. The best thing is she needs to see somebody who specializes in that area, and it should be able to. It's possible. It's not a big deal.
Interesting. But I can't stand those moments when they come and they go like, Mommy, it's painful. I'm like, oh God, I wish I could take this pain off you.
It's very difficult, but it can be managed.
And if you have to send them off to school when they're going through that, you know. You didn't add your name, but doc says that it can be managed. So have a conversation with your doctor and see the best ways that she can be supported. I was diagnosed with primary ovarian cyst. The doctor said my left ovaries are weak. Can I still get pregnant?
Primary ovarian cyst.
Mm.
Okay.
Why, you don't know what that is?
Primary. Okay, so
Oh no, it's
no,
so funny.
I found it's just an interesting description. But,
Yeah.
but okay. The ovary is weak. The left ovary is weak. Hey. Okay, another one. So,
But the ovaries can be problematic, right?
ovaries can be problematic. But usually, when you do an assessment, it tells you how
Maybe that's what she's trying
all
to say.
your ovaries are behaving, not necessarily how one ovary.
I think what I have heard some doctors say is if ovaries are not healthy. Maybe that's what she's trying to say.
Okay, so I guess. So at the end of the day, there are tests that we can run to try and find out how many eggs she has left, and that'll tell you that do you have a certain number? Are your eggs a good number of eggs? Are your eggs working in a particular manner that will show that they have got fairly good quality? And so there's a test you can run that will tell you all those things. And once you run those tests and you do a couple of scans, it can give you a good assessment as to what your reproductive future is going to be like. But simple and straightforward, if they have told you that you potentially may have problems, once they confirm that's the case, it means that if you intend to have children,
You have to work at it.
hurry up. Be purposeful.
Okay, so that's it. Please, I am 29 and recently started having severe abdominal pains even after my menstrual cycle. So I saw a doctor and had some scans and tests done. The only news I had was the fact that I have multiple fibroids, too small to be removed, says the doctor. I was not given any pain medications because the doctor and the diagnosis, I was not given any pain medications. There is nothing showing that's causing the pain. It has been 3 months and I'm still in pain. Please advise.
No, the cause of the pain needs to be found, and an intervention should be put in place to ameliorate her pain. She shouldn't continue to be in pain. Even giving her some medication to manage the pain would have helped. No, she shouldn't continue to be in pain. There are things that you can do to try and, manage her pain. She shouldn't continue to be in pain.
But when I mean, like she's saying, tests have been run or whatever it is has been done, and there is no cause for the pain. So why are you in
there
pain?
There can't be no cause for the pain. There's a
it
cause
has
for
to
the
be
pain.
investigated.
If you haven't found it, it just means that maybe you've not gone far enough. But there's a cause for the pain. Doesn't just come from nowhere. Pain is a sign of the fact that something is wrong with your body. That is why we have pain.
Yeah.
And the pain is to tell you, if you don't stop whatever is causing this pain, disaster may happen in future. Pain is supposed to cause you to withdraw from the cause of the pain. And that is why we have pain. That is why we feel pain. That's why even children feel pain. So it is to prevent you from having further danger. So the fact that her pain is there, there's a reason.
Yeah.
And the fact that it hasn't been found does not mean that the reason is not there. It's just that it hasn't been, as Pastor Otabo likes to say, discovered. It is there. Just that it's covered.
Great. Okay. We'll activate our phone line 0302 216541. 216541. So that we will, take your questions as well. This one says, I had fibroid surgery 2.5 years, and since then I have not been having any menses regularly, and even if I do, it's just a spot in my panty. What could be the cause, and what should I do?
I know exactly what your problem is. You need to see a doctor who can fix it for you. Okay, so after fibroid surgery, depending on how the endometrium, depending if there's a fibroid that is in the endometrium may be affected. The endometrium is where the baby sits, where the menses comes from. And after the fibroid surgery, depending on how the endometrium heals, it may heal in a manner that will prevent menses from coming. In other words, it won't even generate the menses at all, or it will be very scanty. When that happens, there's a particular procedure that we have to do for you to investigate it, confirm that that is the finding, and then there's a surgery that we need to do. We don't cut you, where we go inside and remove the cause that is blocking the menses from being generated. Once we're able to do that, the menses comes back and you start having a good menses. It is, however, a rather challenging procedure to do. It's not one of the easiest things to do when you're doing it for clients. For some people, you do it and it's like you do it one, they're done. Everybody's happy. Some people, you do it and you have to do 2 or 3 sessions before their system comes back to normal. And unfortunately, for some people, their system is so far damaged that it doesn't really come back to normal. But it's not for most people, you can fix it.
Okay, great.
It's not this thing. This week we did 2 for somebody, two different clients who had a similar problem. So it's possible. It can be done.
Great. There's one here that says, do we have a call yet? Okay. Good morning, Edem. In fact, thanks so much for having Dr. Padi in your studio. My BP shot up when I was pregnant, and I was told it was because of the pregnancy since I never had one. Unfortunately, I lost the baby. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And the BP has become an issue for me. Although I'm yet to see a doctor, my partner always uses this BP thing as a yardstick when complain of something he does and tells me I am the cause of the BP. Can you imagine? This is from my son.
No, he's telling her that, you know you have BP. Don't get stressed about this. Leave it. Let it go.
Doc, are you the one saying this?
I'm interpreting what he said.
He shouldn't say it. He shouldn't do that.
He's not blaming her for the baby. He's saying that because of you being anxious about things, no, your BP is rising. So relax.
But don't say it the way he has said it. That
I agree.
say that.
One can hear him.
One can hear cry.
He didn't. It's not the nicest way to say it.
So once she complains about something, and you are the cause of your own BP because you are complaining. Oh no.
However, like I was saying, there are conditions that we've discovered that in pregnancy, some of the changes that occur actually put you in that state, and unfortunately, after delivery,
sometimes
it may persist. So somebody like this, you need to ensure that you've put her in optimum health before her next pregnancy, because otherwise the BP will get worse. You need to control that blood pressure. But now we're even looking more from control to actually making sure that your entire health is improved, so that when you do get a pregnancy again, you can actually achieve a better outcome. She's the kind of person that will need close monitoring. They need to deliver her preferably even early rather than waiting till full term. All kinds of things that you can do once you've learned this lesson and you've had this experience.
Okay, great. And so this is not the time to be telling her that she's the cause of her own BP. What is that?
You two, why are you talking plate? You two, your BP will come up. Stop, leave it.
I have no,
I understand the frustration.
I understand.
It's really upsetting. When
I'm
it's like,
telling you.
The issue is there and you are trying to dodge it behind the BP. What are you talking about?
Actually,
and making me feel guilty about the whole thing.
Can you imagine the fact that, it can be so severe that some women will end up losing even their teeth during pregnancy and all that. And she went through this and unfortunately lost the baby too, So naturally she will be worried. So we need a lot more pampering and a lot more support from you guys, Yeah. I have a question. Let me ask it and then we'll go to the phone line. Good morning, Doc. I did BTL. Doc, what's that?
Bilateral tubal ligation.
Okay.
These are your tubes.
Okay. For the past 7 years and for the past 9 months, I have not had my menses. What is the cause? And this is from Priscilla. But before you answer, Priscilla, hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Tim.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning, Doc. I'm very educated this morning.
Thank you. What's your name, please?
My sister appears to be pregnant for the past 3 years. Every scan shows there's nothing there, but everything pregnant people go through, she's going through, and she doesn't want to accept that she's not pregnant. At least the scans tell so, but she's having all the symptoms that pregnant people go through, and it's affecting her, relationship and everything. I want to know from doctor what is the cause of that and what can be done about it. At least she's taking 2 scans that shows there's nothing there, but the line, the vomiting, getting bigger and bigger, and everything shows she's pregnant. So I need doctor's advice.
And you say this has been on for 3 years?
Yes, please.
Okay, doc.
Yeah, it's what we call a false pregnancy or a pseudo pregnancy or pseudocysis. Essentially, she's not pregnant, but she believes she's pregnant, and she continues to act like she's pregnant, and it's difficult to convince her, despite the evidence, that she's not pregnant.
So what can be done?
It's a difficult problem to manage.
Hey.
Because the evidence is there.
And it's been 3 years.
Yes. But you see, the part of the problem is I don't understand why you interpret that vomiting is equal to pregnancy or weight gain is equal to pregnancy. So that means if I am vomiting and I'm gaining weight, does that mean that I'm pregnant and my tummy is getting big?
So it could be something else.
Yeah, it could be something else. It's often something else. And a lot of times when you examine them, you do the blood test and show them negative. You do the scan and you say, you look yourself. Do you see a baby? They'll say no. But they'll still tell you they are 8 months pregnant or they are 9 months pregnant or they are whatever.
This is heartbreaking.
It's challenging. It's not the kind of thing that you can manage on. She actually needs to, they would have to get psychological help for her. And it has to be a combination of gynecological and psychological help to try and get her to the point where she will accept the fact that and the funny thing about this is that some of them, if you really check, they are having their menses too.
Hey.
But they'll tell you that they are pregnant.
Doc, I hear things, but this is the first time I am hearing this one.
I had one. Charlie. She actually reported one day that she's in labor. I had to go to the hospital to manage the labor, that she's in labor. Meanwhile,
this is the first time I am hearing a thing like this, and wow,
it's a tough.
So this one, the person just needs psychological help.
She needs a lot of psychological help,
and maybe find out what really is wrong with her, because he can't be vomiting for 3 years, gaining weight, and all of those.
Well, sometimes those symptoms do exist. Sometimes she's told you this, but when you ask her, when was the last time you vomited? A long time ago.
Okay.
When was the last time you saw blood? 2 weeks ago. But my stomach is growing big, and I'm feeling hot inside. So I'm convinced I'm pregnant for the past 2 years.
Oh.
And there's nothing you can say or show at that point that will make them accept it.
This one broke me.
You hear new things every time, eh?
Yeah, this one broke me. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yeah. Good morning. What's your name, please?
Please, I'm
Rita.
Rejoice.
Oh, Rejoice. Okay, Rejoice, you're on there.
Yes, I gave this last year, and then my menstruation started coming after about 8 months. It came for about 8 months normally, and then the third month I treated for over 6 weeks. So, for the doctor, I was giving some medicine and then took it. The following month, it came about 4 days, and then stopped. Since I haven't menstruated, I also went for this family planning. That's in for 3 months. And then I have not been menstruating.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I don't know what to do now. Because I know if you stop menstruating that early, sometimes it's affects.
Okay, so let me ask a few questions. How long did the family planning last for?
It's supposed to last for 3 months.
3 months.
Yes.
And you've stopped it.
Yes.
And you're not menstruating.
No.
How long ago have you stopped it?
I stopped it in January.
Say again?
January.
In January?
Yes.
Okay, so we've had this conversation, but Doc, you might just want to emphasize it. Okay, Rejoice. So according to Doc, don't worry too much. Just 2 months ago, your menses will come and you will be fine. Okay. So doc did say that your menses will come. Sometimes it takes up to 6-9 months. So relax. You don't have a problem like that. Now, let me quickly remind us that Pentecost Hour is a religious broadcast program sponsored by the Church of Pentecost, and it comes your way with the chairman of the Church of Pentecost, Apostle Eric Nyamiche, on Joy 99.7 FM at 1:30 every Sunday. You want to tune in at 1:30 every Sunday as Apostle Nyamiche brings you life transforming truth that nourishes the soul, ignites passion, and restores hope in the nations. The Church of Pentecost, we're possessing the nations for the Lord. Doc, there was a question on BTL.
She had a BTL 7 years ago, and the last 9 months she's having her menses have stopped. It's unlikely to be due to the BTL.
Yeah. Okay.
She did mention her age.
No, she didn't.
But let's just know that the average age for menopause among Ghanaian women is 48, and some people get menopause as early as 36. So it is not impossible that her menses may have stopped due to menopause, but not necessarily due to the BTL. The other thing is that there could be other reasons why her menses may have stopped. It could be hormonal reasons, it could be surgical intervention reasons, it could be. So it doesn't necessarily be related to the BTL, but the BTL and the menses coming out. Not related.
Okay, great. We have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I like the sound of this. It's a man calling. That's nice. What's your name, sir?
Ben is my name.
Ben, okay. Ben, please ask your question.
My daughter has an issue, menstrual pain. When it comes, she's always down, and quickly she grows lean. She cannot eat. It has been happening for more than 20 years now. We've gone to, send her to hospitals upon hospitals, fertility hospitals, and they always tell her that if she takes seed and she's delivered of a baby, it will go. And she still, if the pain comes, she uses a drug called suppository or what to insert before the pain will go down. And she has to be doing that until the period is over.
Doc, this is a worry, Daddy.
Yeah. I was hoping that I would hear that if they had a cause for her pain, or it is just there's something called primary dysmenorrhea where it is. You can't find a physical cause for the problem.
So you're still on the line, right? Oh, he's off. Okay.
That'd be nice to know what the age of the daughter is.
Because he says this has been ongoing for more than 20 years.
That means she's
within,
Yeah, she's above 30 most likely.
Thereabout.
So I think there are still things that can be done for her, because even the pain, if you can't find an obvious direct cause of the pain, there's medication we can give to control the pain during the menses. At the very least, that will ensure that she'll be able to have a functional life when she's having her menses. And then if there's a particular cause for that bleeding as well, then that too can be fixed in addition. So more can be done for her.
Sometimes just because you're a woman, your life is extra hard. Oh my world. Just because you're a woman. Please, you both should stop stressing us all.
We'll do our best.
Good morning, Doc and Edem. I am 45 with 3 children. I've practiced FB for the past 5 years and stopped. But 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, she stopped about 2 years ago. I have not menstruated since I stopped. But it came last 2 months for a day and stopped. Please, am I experiencing premenopausal syndromes?
It may be possible.
It may be possible? Yeah. What is the FP though?
Family planning.
Oh.
Sorry.
That'd be me.
So she should there are some tests that you can run and to tell her exactly where we stand.
Okay. So please, you have to, when the thing bothers you like that, instead of sitting and wondering, why don't you just, see a doctor and ask the questions so that your fears are allayed, and then, you are better placed to know and understand what's happening to you. Hey, this
No,
one,
no.
two,
And
three,
there's
four,
a
five.
question on PCOS and a question on. There are two questions that I saw on the screen. both of
Okay,
which
I'll look
were
for them
quite
quickly
interesting.
before we go. This one says, "Good morning. Please, I have been married for over a year now, but haven't conceived. Please, doc, what may be the cause?"
Of the delay. You may not be having adequate sex. Your husband may have poor sperm. Your tubes may not be good. Your endometrium may not be good, or you don't produce good eggs.
But doc,
It's one of
one
these
year
things.
of being married and wanting to get pregnant, is it a good enough time to be worried?
If you have sex 3 times a week for 1 year and you don't get pregnant,
You must be
deserve,
worried.
you deserve to be investigated.
Oh.
If it's less than 1 year, then we say you haven't had enough sex.
So it must be at least 3 times a week.
3 times a week. If you are trying to get pregnant 3 times a week.
This is like paracetamol prescription.
Oh,
Morning,
people who do
afternoon,
5 or
evening.
6. So
A week.
yes. Oh, I know someone who does 14.
In this economy.
I introduce you to her.
In this economy.
She's richer than you, busier than you,
So the person is not doesn't
works,
have any
and works
economic
more than you, and she does 14. She's my role model.
Yeah. Please, me too, Chama. 14.
Busy woman.
7 days, no.
Yeah. So,
Okay, twice a
twice
day.
a day. I know a friend who does 12. So
Hey, doc, please, we'll leave that one here.
all of you non-performing assets, take notes. Champion Day.
We need to back up. Good morning, Edem. Oh, please. I am 19.
Yes.
I have PCOS and my menses doesn't come often. Is there something wrong?
This is a problem, and that's what drew my attention to it. With PCOS, your menses becomes irregular. Oftentimes, your menses becomes regular. Not
Our
everybody.
time is far gone. I would have so PCOS.
PCOS is a whole day.
Okay.
I can talk about it for a day.
All right.
It's complex. It's detailed. It's got all kinds of nuances. all
Doc,
kinds
next
of
week you will come, right?
Hey, next. Hey,
We'll
Okay.
see.
Okay. I ran from theater straight here.
Oh, forgive us. We're grateful.
Because of you, I woke up early.
So
But-
then we'll tackle this PCOS issue
Yeah,
next
but,
week.
but it can be addressed, it can be managed, it can be treated. We know a lot more about it than we did 10 years
Before.
ago. In fact, we know a lot more about it now than we did even 3 weeks ago.
Okay. We're happy to hear that. Means that new information, new interventions, day in, day out. But this is how we will end Home Affairs today. It's been very educative. Honestly, I've heard things today that I really never heard, you know.
The other guy was the imperforate hymen.
Okay, Doc, we'll note it and then we will look at it next week. So please, PCOS and imperforated hymen, and this will be how we will start Home Affairs next week. So please stay tuned in. But thank you so much, Doc, for coming, for the sacrifices, having to leave theater and then straight here and all that. And we're asking you to come again next week. God bless you. We appreciate you. This has been Home Affairs. Thank you, Daniela. Our guest has been Dr. Padi Ayertey of Elemas Health. Doc, quickly your number so that those who would want to...
Please, it's not in my head though, I beg you.
Oh.
I'll leave it to Daniela. They should call, they should
Okay,
call
so
Daniela.
you can call 0302 216540. 0302 216540. That's our front desk line, and then it will be given to you. So if you have further questions or you need to book an appointment to see Dr. Padi Ayertey at Elemas Health, you do that. My name is Edem Knight-Tay, and hopefully we have been able to bring some education to your home. Stay tuned in for the rest of our programs. Weekend City Show is up next. We'll have News File, there will be Sports Link, there will be Showbiz A to Z, and then we will have Flashback, and then we will have Open House Party before the day ends. Enjoy the rest of the day. We're out of here.